Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement is reportedly happening soon with a trailer release following. So, I think...
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
well, this announcement did happen.
This did happen. I think, updates. Rockstar has now confirmed that GTA 6 trailer will debut in December. And they did it in the oh, wait, so I didn't realize there was a whole separate... Oh, my God, written by Darren. Look at that, hey? This is hilarious. They confirmed this in a tweet.
Yeah, quite literally just in a tweet. Not
even a primary tweet. It is like the third or fourth tweet in a thread of tweets going like, oh, hey, Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer's coming soon.
They were like, oh, Grand Theft Auto we're celebrating 25 years and this couldn't be done without you. Also, there's a trailer for GTA 6 coming out next month. Goodbye.
Which is
such a weird... But again, grand. Like... Take-Two knows and Rockstar knows, like, they don't need to do anything else. Like, everyone is hanging on a dime for, like, new GTA 6 news. I mean, there were those, like, people that were, like, convinced that Rockstar was trolling them with the phase of the moon and this and like, people have gone on batshit crazy. Like, anyway, GTA 6 is getting its first trailer in December.
Mm-hmm.
The Game Awards are also in December, but I don't know if it will be at there because, again, Rockstar doesn't need the Game Awards. Like, the Game Awards would love to have this trailer.
Jeff Keighley at Rockstar is still like, please, let me have this.
I want to be popular, please. Yeah, I mean, the last time that they released a trailer, it was for Red Dead Redemption 2, and they kind of just said, hey, it's going to release on this day at this time, and that was that.
Yeah.
You know, so I just love that we're at the point of pre-announcements to announcements to trailers.
It's the best time to be alive.
Yeah. I have no idea what a GTA 6 looks like in the modern context.
It's kind of wild to think that GTA 5 came out on a PS3.
Yeah, 2013. Insane.
It's crazy. That blows my mind. And of course, GTA 5 has since been ported to every current PS4, PS5, and obviously there's a PC version. Yeah, I wonder what a modern GTA looks. I mean, like, we've got Red Dead Redemption 2, right, which is a good indication of, holy shit, Rockstar will go into any kind of detail, from horse testicles to everything else in this Wild West simulator. What do they do now with a modern open world playground? I mean,
yeah,
GTA Online is its own beast, which pulls in so much money. They must be thinking, yes, how do we monetize? I mean, even that, I don't know if a GTA 6 Online will launch with the game because it only came. But GTA 5 Online only came years after.
Yeah, it was like a year or two after, I remember, because they like delayed it quite hectically. To me, GTA Online is what GTA is now. Like, it has to launch with it. There's no. It would be so weird if it didn't, to me. But yeah, even then, how do they transition all these millions of people from GTA Online to GTA 6? You know, do they just consolidate the two where they're like, cool, GTA 6 is out, GTA Online is kind of just moving over to this thing. But then again, like, they'll have a different city, they'll have a different setting. Like, I think that's a very big problem for Rockstar to solve, and could potentially be why this has taken so long. Like, they can't gut, you know, the tons of money they're making from GTA Online now by just rebooting it. So maybe they do. Maybe they're like, people will come. Like, they don't give a shit, you know.
So educate me. GTA 5 Online, is that a separate purchase to GTA 5 or is it free to play?
No, it's part of GTA 5.
It's a part of GTA 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say then maybe it is a simple thing of, if you've got GTA 5 Online, don't worry, like, we're going to bring over GTA 6 content to you. Because if it's two separate things, that would make sense, right? You just kind of launch GTA 6 and you just keep evolving the other one. But if it is tied to the purchase of GTA 6, then I don't know. I don't know what they do. Because if you don't know, maybe you don't know that GTA 5 Online pulls in huge amounts of money, but you can't just say goodbye to that business. It brings in way too much money for Rockstar, and they kind of do need to they do need to problem solve that. So, and I think also like you can't just reboot if you're going to do, okay, now GTA Online is new in GTA 6, but it doesn't have all of the features that
the previous one had, or support for the things that the previous one did, like role playing and stuff like that. These are problems that they have to solve. And this is 100% the biggest moneymaker that Take-Two has. So they're not, treading lightly. They're not making decisions, I think, very quickly on this. So, apparently, according to Take-Two's CEO, Strauss Zelnick, the game could be out late 2024, early 2025, because their earnings projections for that fiscal year are like through the fucking roof. And that fiscal year ends on March 2025. So, yeah.
It's going to be huge. I'm also
it's going to be huge either way. Either way, it's going to be huge. Yeah.
I'm also interested to see visually what it looks like because.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 is still one of the best looking games out there. So, I definitely think. I do hope that they can figure out HDR, because HDR on Red Dead Redemption 2 was ass. So
we're not just talking about a donkey in the game, though.
No, not.
Well,
good Lord.
As you touched on earlier, so Rockstar said, hey, next month we're going to show something. I think you said, well, not you specifically, but the general thought is maybe it's at the Game Awards. Unlikely, but that said, why is this not loading? The Game Awards are happening next month.
Yeah.
Why is the site so zoomed in? I think the day, December 7th, and outside of it being an opportunity for Jeff Keighley to, bestow awards upon really good games, it is also an opportunity to show off new stuff. The Game Awards has become a end of year calendar beat where things are shown for the following year, which, well, not necessarily for the following year, but things are revealed. So are we seeing Elden Ring DLC at the show?
I think this is where we're going to see.
Are we seeing Death Stranding 2 at the show?
Yes. Death Stranding 2 has been announced. So
no, but are we actually seeing
more?
it now?
Yeah, for sure.
Are we seeing Half-Life 3?
I think Elden Ring definitely not. No. What I can tell you, what we won't be seeing is a trailer for the new Nintendo Switch. Oh, well, that too. Jesus Christ. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to announce the new Nintendo Switch here. But I think Nintendo just goes according to their own beat currently. So there's no reason for them to do that.
I was going to say it's too early, but I guess it's not true because the Switch did launch March when it launched in 2017. I
think there's going to be a longer marketing campaign for the Switch successor than the actual Switch. So, yeah, but I don't think it'll be this show. It could still be before the end of the year, but I don't think it'll be here.
Yeah.
The nominees are being announced on November 13th. So potentially by the time you're listening to this, the nominees might be out.
Oh boy.
Curious to see there's going to be there's arguments over who should and shouldn't be nominated and who will and who won't win. I know we've had spirited debates on whether Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win Game of the Year. I personally think it's definitely going to be nominated. I don't think it's going to win.
So,
not because it doesn't deserve it, but purely because of the game it is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Your Game of the Year nominee predictions go 6 games.
Predictions, what will be nominated?
Who's going to actually?
Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, Super Mario Wonder. Spider-Man 2.
Do you think Spider-Man 2 will be there? Cool.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 will be there.
Do you think
Alan Wake 2?
Alan Wake 2 will be there. And what is the sixth?
What's the sixth?
What is the sixth wild card? I'm also trying to think what is something else good that came out this year? Is it something indie? I mean, Baldur's Gate is not indie, but it's definitely the least AAA out of all of those nominees. 6th one is difficult.
Yeah, what takes the 6th slot? There's been so many good games this year, but what stands out as something that grabbed the zeitgeist? Like,
is it? What are you going to say? No,
no. I didn't have a suggestion.
Is it going to be like a Resident Evil 4 remake? Because that.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad shout. Yeah.
A thing. Would it be a Starfield? Unlikely.
Oh Jesus Christ! No, I don't think it'll be a Starfield. Like, yeah, no, I don't think it'll be a Starfield. Like, because the nominees are determined by the number of votes garnered for Game of the Year, so they take the sixth highest number. I don't think, in terms of critics, Starfield is going to rank there.
Yeah. So the sixth
Resident Evil 4 is probably a good shot. Yeah, that's probably where I'd lean. It's weird though. We've spoken about how good of a year this has been for games, and I thoroughly agree with that. But when I'm trying to imagine the six that'll be for Game of the Year, it seems like very sparse. You know what I mean?
I mean, those 5 we have already are very good. It's just,
it should be there. It's Cocoon. Cocoon should be there. It's not gonna be there, but it should be there.
But what interests me is that 6th spot. It's a wild card because those first 5 seem
Hi-Fi
obvious.
Rush should be there.
Hi-Fi Rush should be there.
It's not going to be there.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 16 could make an appearance.
Oh yeah, that's another one that could be there. Although,
don't know.
I feel like there is a very vocal portion of the internet that really loved that game, but then like the general consensus was that it wasn't that as good as we maybe liked it. Like I love that game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Best indie game is going to be interesting because there's been bangers like people love Dave the Diver. People, Cocoon is up there for me, but I don't know how many people actually played that. Cocoon, Dredge people love. So, yeah, interesting.
Interesting. Just remember that Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out this year.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. That's probably why I don't think
it's a really good game, but it's just weird how it's just not in the zeitgeist at all.
You know what else came out this year? Some Horizon Forbidden West DLC.
The DLC. I mean, but it's a DLC. So I don't know, where does that get recognized? It's a good DLC. I enjoyed it. Next piece of news. I suppose let's just touch on Nintendo because we did touch on them briefly now. The Switch has passed 132 million sales,
Jesus.
Which is just absolute madness.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous amount. Just crazy.
I think let's just dial back. So we touched on the Switch coming out. Remember it was announced. This is Wii U era. People going, what are Nintendo doing? What are they going to do next? And then that Switch trailer dropped, and everyone went, that's really cool. A handheld, that's actually a console. And fast forward to today, and look at what impact the Switch has. The Switch has had such an impact that we've got the Steam Deck, we've got the ROG Ally, we've got all these handheld things coming out. We've got PlayStation's weird cloud machine. It's still a handheld technically. And now Nintendo have sold 132 million of the damn things. And they've definitely set a trend of people have a hunger for this portable gaming, but not Game Boy portable gaming or DS, like actual powerful enough to play, good looking and, expansive games thing. So it's just interesting that Nintendo have had such a rebound. And I'd love to see what the Switch 2 looks like. But I think what else came out of this, there was a lot of big numbers coming out of this report.
Yeah, I mean, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's now sold 19.5 million copies, which is kind of insane. It's like in 5-6 months. Yeah. Breath of the Wild still 31 million, but I suspect Tears of the Kingdom's just going to blaze.
It'll blow. I mean, Breath of the Wild came out 6 years ago.
Yeah. I think Mario Wonder sold like 3 or 4 million in 10 days or something like that.
The best-selling Mario game of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, fastest,
sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Mario Kart keeps trucking along. It's 57 million units sold, which is so it means 43% of Switch owners have Mario Kart, which is the most incredible attach rate I've ever heard. Like to have almost 1 in 2 people own your game on a platform is just obscene. Yeah, I mean, the Switch just continues being the Switch, and it feels almost boring to report on now, but it is just quite incredible what a turnaround Nintendo had on one console. You know, a time where people were like, will Nintendo just sell to Microsoft or Sony, or should Nintendo go third party? You know, that was the stuff that was going around before the Switch.
We lived through that. The Nintendo were in a very bad place. Terrible.
People talk about Nintendo now like they can do no wrong, but like 6 years ago, that was super not the case.
Don't hold your breath. The Switch 2 could be awful. Okay, we've seen it.
Yeah, it could be.
The Wii, I mean, absolute
the Wii
success.
The Wii U came after one of their most successful consoles.
Yeah, so don't hold your breath. Until we've seen the Switch 2 and we've actually held it and played it, you don't know what Nintendo are going to do, because love them to bits. Sometimes they do the most absurd things. Yeah, we'll see. Speaking of big numbers and records, Fortnite, this is wild. Fortnite smashes player records as it returns to the original map. This article is maybe a bit old, but the update is that 44 million players joined for the game's biggest day ever.
That's wild.
That is just insanity. And I can confirm that I know many people who have who've returned to Fortnite just to see what the original map looked like, myself and Lenska included. We haven't played Fortnite for months. Like since before we moved, we played this week because we were like, it's Fortnite. Let's jump in.
Yeah.
And I know people who have never played Fortnite downloading and playing the game just because of the zeitgeist around it. So it's crazy. Just keep in mind, Epic laid off people not so long ago. What are they doing over there?
It is interesting here. Eurogamer notes that in the UK, internet provider Virgin Media O2 said that the return of Fortnite's original map had sparked its busiest day on its broadband network, beating spikes around previous game launches. That's crazy.
You know who my service provider is?
Oh?
It's Virgin and O2. I'm one of the numbers.
You contributed to that figure. That's crazy. But it shows you again, like the power of nostalgia as well. You know,
it really is. It's just nostalgia.
Sure.
In like the theme of this episode is pulling back the curtain. Let me tell you, in marketing, your biggest win is always nostalgia, because it's just associated with feel good and good vibes. And I mean, it's
memories of good times.
Yeah. Even if those memories happen during shit times, you'll look back on something fondly, like, oh yes, Fortnite. The time I lost my house, I was busy playing the OG Fortnite. What a time. In other news this week, Sony confirms, or speaking of live service, Sony has confirmed that Sony confirms it's delayed half of its 12 planned live service games, which I applaud. Good on you, Sony. 6 is still too many. Don't get me wrong. But
I saw a lot of people confusing this with it, like games being cancelled. That's not at all what happened.
Yeah.
They are delayed, and I mean, if you read what the original plan was, it kind of makes sense. They were trying to launch 12 live service games by March 2026, which is less than 3 years away. That's just an obscene cadence for like 12 different live service games. So yeah, it's now only 6, which still seems like a lot.
It's still
like 2 big first-party live service games a year. But, you know, of those 12 titles, which were the ones that were delayed, and which of those will, I think, potentially be cancelled? Like,
I think they'll be cancelled.
The Last of Us online game, the Factions online game, which has been reportedly put on ice, 100% could be one of those. Horizon is making a multiplayer game.
Excuse me.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's, you know, again, none of this stuff happens within a vacuum. So you've got like Jim Ryan leaving, you've got layoffs at Bungie, and a lot of the reports on the troubles they're having with like keeping continued engagement with Destiny, and then the knock-on effect that is having with Marathon, their next live service game, which apparently is like not going through the best sort of development. And then now you've got these delays, and it just seems like Sony is having a bit of a moment where they're like, is this really the route we're going to go down for the next like 5 to 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, now I completely, not agreeing with you. It is fact that they haven't cancelled the 6 games. They've just delayed them. But I do think that in delaying them, they will inevitably be cancelled. Like, for better or worse, but I do think 12 is like an aggressive number of live service games. Yeah. That's crazy. And they, because it'll lead to devs crunching. Speaking of crunch, man, it's the segues today.
Sure,
so good.
segues on point here.
Report: devs worked nights and weekends to rush Modern Warfare 3 out. But Activision maintains a Call of Duty sequel is never meant to just be an expansion. I don't know. This is a weird story. So I read through this last night where, who's the head here? I can't think of the name. The head of the studio. It's basically the head saying, this game was not rushed. It's exactly as it was intended. And then employees coming out being like, no, it was
absolutely not.
It was absolutely not. But then the last update in this article, it's I don't know how to pronounce this. Halon, tweeted a much longer message about Modern Warfare 3's development via the Sledgehammer Games account. Quote: "We have worked hard to deliver on this vision, which has been years in the making," he wrote. "Anything said to the contrary is simply not true. This is our game and we cannot wait to play it online with all of you." Which is interesting because everything seems to point to this being a rushed cash grab. Very sorry to say.
I mean, there was tons of reporting that it was like an expansion, and and that it eventually evolved into this thing that suddenly got a campaign out of nowhere. So it's like it's very difficult to look at that and be like, no, they're telling the truth. Like a game that's made in half the time, there's no way. And it explains a lot about like the length of the campaign, the quality of the campaign that the reviews have very plainly pointed out. So,
but also,
I mean, I haven't played it yet, but
there's also this thing of there have been weird bugs or things happening where it's like you cannot launch the game, for example, unless you have Modern Warfare 2 downloaded, which seems very strange. The trophy list was listed as like an expansion, which is very strange.
100%.
How does that accidentally happen? Tell me that. I don't know.
It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. And I don't know. I really don't understand what Activision was thinking. Well, I do. They wanted to make money.
Monet.
Like, plain and simple. They just wanted to make tons of money, and they're like, we can get away with this. Like, we can actually pull this off. And that's what's happened. And I think, there's been some positive buzz about the multiplayer, and that's cool. But at the same time, they've also pulled like a bunch of maps immediately on launch day, because they were just like broken, which just shows like a sense of rushness, like oversight in that regard as well. So it's a bummer all around, I think. Just not a good look. Not a good look.
The reality is that it'll still probably sell millions because it's Call of Duty.
Oh, probably, yeah. Almost definitely, yeah.
Yeah. But on that somber note.
On that somber note.
That's news for this week.